Hello and welcome to Rostock at the Baltic Sea. The biggest city in our state, and I'd like to welcome you today on behalf of the city. My name is Anne. I'll be your professional guide today on this tour of Rostock, say old and new through the times. And indeed, we're looking back on 800 years. We celebrated our big birthday 2 years ago, 2018, with international participation. We have friends all over the world, twin cities all over the world. They all came to celebrate with us the 800 years jubilee of the city's foundation. So the name Rostock goes back to this time as well. But we're in the middle of a festival season, say it like this. We didn't only celebrate the Jubilee of Rostock, we also celebrated the foundation of the university. So if you have a look at the university just behind me now, the beautiful red Renaissance-style building. It's neo-Renaissance, but anyway, 19th century. Makes it look like it's much older, but it is the original location even. 600 years ago, 2019, the big jubilee was. 600 years ago, the university was founded. Struggling with the words, it's so long ago even. And so we are one of the oldest universities in Germany and the first university in the Baltic Sea. No one around the Baltic Sea, not in St. Petersburg, not in Copenhagen, I'm sorry, in Stockholm, was older than us, 1419. Nearly 14,000 students today make Rostock a university town and give it this special ambience that people like because there's life in here. It may be October, but still people are out and about, as you can see, drinking coffee in the street. There's German sausage being served here to eat on the go in a lovely piece of bread. And the fountain that you can see just behind me, when the fountains are on in summer, when the water is on, the kids will be playing in it, people will be sitting around it with their coffee and their ice cream, and it's just the loveliest place in town. And meeting friends in Rostock means you're meeting them here at the Fountain of the Joys of Life. And then, of course, you take your friends for a little stroll, and you stroll along what we call the boulevard, Kröpeliner Street, named after a merchant family with this name, presumably. And the boulevard today has facades from all eras, going back to the Gothic times, 15th century, going to Renaissance, Classicism. It's like a picture book of architecture walking around. There's shops, there's cafes, there's exquisite little boutiques, but also the international brands, so something for everybody. And in summer, there's crowds of people walking here, strolling here. Rostock is a big cruise ship destination, so we'll have people from all over the world checking out our offers, our shops, and just enjoying sitting outside, as the Rostockers like to do it. Even outside the bakery, they're sitting there having coffee, having cake, always out in the fresh air. Yeah, and as we carry on along the boulevard, I'm sure you'll stick with me until we get to the next lovely place to show you around. All right, carrying on, let's look back in history in Rostock. I'm saying 800 years. How did it all get started? People settled here even earlier than 800 years ago. I mean, face it, in Europe, 800 years is nothing. The Romans were here much earlier, but the Romans didn't make it to the Baltic Sea. So our first permanent settlers, they were Slavs, and they gave us the name as well. So Rostock is a Slavic expression, or derives from a Slavic expression. Of course, we adapted it to the German tongue. And looking at the word Rostock means place where the river gets wider, gets bigger. And that's where people settled, where the river made a natural opening. And our river Warnow today still is the main thing for Rostock. People live along the river, they cruise along the river, and the river, of course, goes into the Baltic Sea, where everybody loves to go, to the beach at Warnemünde, our lovely seaside resort. So it all started down here, the banks of the river, and the name Rostock comes from the river as well. Traders came, good destination for the traders, of course, here at the river, transporting their goods across the Baltic Sea. So more and more people settled here, and the city grew. And Gothic houses, merchants' homes, like the one on this side, came into being. Looking at this one here, the city's library today, This is a typical merchant's home. They're all fairly narrow, but long. If you would open the door, walking in, you'd have enough space to the back to live in, as the building is narrow, but long, because taxes, more or less, were calculated by how wide your lot was and not how long. So they all tried to build it small but long. And as you can see, everything was invested into the facade. The facade was your business card. People traveled along here, the main road between the town gate and the market square, as we are strolling along right now. And this building, of course, was a nice representation for this merchant. I'm rich, I'm powerful, I've got something to give. That's the message. The other buildings may have a similar age, but facades were changed as the times changed and fashion changed as well. So Rostock today is a blend of different styles.